Welcome back, Cal League fans, to Dirt and Diamonds right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. As you can see, the hats are changed. Oh, yeah, the hats are changed. And there's a dude down here who's wearing a similar hat who we have been just waiting for week after week. The moment I'll tell you right now, within the first like week and a half of starting the show, after following these guys, I was like, we got to get that. That's the guy. Don't get me wrong. We love everybody we've had on the show, but I was like, this, because I'll give you another reason why in a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, so glad to have him here today to be on tonight's show. This interview was recorded last Wednesday on August 5th. He's a busy guy, but I'll tell you right now, we're so happy to have him. He is the voice of almost 2 decades of the Ranch Cucamonga Quakes, and he is just an overall great dude. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Crazy J. How's it
going? What's up? What's up? What an introduction. Thank you. Wow. I got to talk to Dr. Chris about getting an introduction like that. That's good.
Tell him.
Dr. Chris, are you listening here?
Dude.
Shoot, I mean, I don't know if it'll do much, but I can try to give him a call. Probably be like, but anyway. But Crazy J, again, we are just so happy to have you here tonight, man.
Happy to be here, guys. Thanks for the invite. This is awesome.
Hey, how'd you get the stage name Crazy J? I want to know that.
Well, what I tell people at the stands is that Crazy K was taken. So I got Crazy J. No, that's what I tell. That's what I tell them. But the J obviously stands for Julio, which is my first name. Just kidding. So no, what happened was when I originally auditioned to be with the Quakes as their on-field host, I didn't have a character name or anything. I was just there under my real name, Justin. And so when I showed up to my first day, in typical minor league fashion, they handed me a jersey, and on the back of the jersey it said Crazy J. And so I turned and I looked. I was like, "Who's Crazy J?" They're like, "You." I was like, "Okay." What? So I at that moment I put the jersey on. I was like, "I guess I'm creating a character here in the moment of Crazy J." Now I do have I did share some personal stories when I was interviewing with them about what my influence would be as being an on-field host. So I think they took some liberties with that and just ran with Crazy J. So it kind of just organically, after they gave me the name, just organically developed. So that's it. I think they just thought Crazy Justin. But yeah, that's it. That's how it came to pass.
That's awesome.
Freddie B, how about that? I mean, really, Freddie, they named him.
They did.
Yeah, no, I mean, give us. I mean, if you don't know who Crazy J is, I mean, this guy is amazing. His on-field performance is outstanding. He gets everybody riled up in the crowd, just really engaging, and that's what makes him so great. And that's what makes the California League so great is rallying the crowds and the families that come out to these games and keeping everybody entertained, especially on it's a 100-degree day in the summertime, or you're in the team's not doing too well or whatnot. This guy right here, he keeps it all together and in check. And you're not wearing the full setup, with the top hat and the tuxedo. Is that like ringmaster? Is like a ringmaster kind of a vibe you wanted to give out there?
Yeah, so it's all evolved organically. So when I first started, they gave me a Quakes jersey that was like a promotion night that had it was an American Gladiators promotion night.
Let's go.
So it was, imagine the American Gladiators V, right? And it said Quakes across it, and it was red and navy, and on the back it said Crazy J. So the first year I just rocked this jersey with some red running shorts and red and blue alternating long knee length socks and a giant blue foam cowboy hat. And my character, I just decided, I was like, you know what? I need this character to be anything could happen at any time. I want people to be walking around being like, okay, when I'm near Crazy J, like anything could happen. When he's on the microphone, anything could happen. So just to build that anticipation and excitement. And so we would, wearing something crazy and outlandish helped with that, like pique the interest of, okay, so this guy's supposed to be Crazy J. Why is he wearing what he's wearing? So the next year, my second year, the costume was starting to like wear out, right? The foam cowboy hat was like falling up, deteriorating because of the 100-degree, summers in Rancho, sweat and everything else. So they're like, well, what do you want to wear? And so the GM at the team was like really into like 80s, like nostalgia at the time. And he's like, Zubaz. I was like,
Oh,
okay, Zubaz, let's do it. So he bought me 2 pair of Zubaz. And if for anyone who doesn't know, Zubaz are effectively like zebra printed pants in sweatshirt material. So like I went from the oven to the frying pan with this new costume. I'm wearing long pants, and they give me a new jersey because that was our first year as the Dodgers affiliation. So now I'm wearing this Rancho jersey that's blue with Crazy J on the back, and they give me like just a kind of like a paperboy hat. So I was like, all right. So I rocked this, and same thing with the Zubaz. I hiked those bad boys up like they were knickers, and I put on some long socks. And so that was year 2 and year 3. So then year 4, they're like, okay, I think this Crazy J guy's like got staying power, and I think we should maybe invest in more than just like a pair of Zubaz and like whatever jersey we can just throw Crazy J on the back of. And I don't have this on like perfect authority, but I feel pretty confident that the current GM of the team, Mike Linskug, who at the time was the radio broadcaster for the Quakes, he was involved in designing a logo with a company called, I think it's pronounced Brandios. And if you look up Brandios, they do like a ton of branding for minor league and major league baseball. So I think they gave Brandios the idea of what my character was, and then I was like a ringmaster for this show that happened to have a baseball game going on, and they came up with this costume. So they did the top hat, and then they did a suit jacket, but instead of having pants with the suit jacket, cut them into shorts and hem them, and I could still wear the socks. And the original idea was a printed white T-shirt that had a printed tie on it. So instead of actually wearing a dress shirt and a bow tie or anything, it was like a printed T-shirt. So like whatever. So I wore that day 1, game 1 of the 2014 season. I have a picture of me with Mike back then wearing the jacket for the first time, and it has the logo on the back of the jacket. And the T-shirt didn't work. It just didn't fit with the vibe. And so the very next night, I just grabbed a dress shirt out of my house. I grabbed a dress shirt from the house. I grabbed the bow tie, slapped it on, and the rest was history. So from that point forward, I've been rocking the suit with the shorts, and of course, this season made the change from the blue to the red. So yeah. But I think the idea was that I was a ringmaster for this circus that happened to have a baseball game going on.
That's
the
so
main
great.
attraction, it's like the main attraction for the circus was Tremor, and then the secondary attraction was Aftershock, and I was there introducing everybody to these main attractions, and then also there just happened to be a baseball game going on. So that was always the concept.
That's so. Hey, you know what? I think we found something here. I was digging through the archives of the Orange County Register. I found your original get up here. Let's see if this is it. Hold on. Can we bring this to the stage, Larry?
Let's see it. Oh, the picture you looked up there.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, the American Gladiators style.
There it is. Yep.
Dude.
Yeah, with the foam cowboy hat. Now I still actually have all of that get up. So I keep that, in an enclosed case, so I can submit
Special
it to the
occasion.
Baseball Hall of Fame at some point.
Sir.
No. But I do have it.
Please do. No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I think if you look at like 2011, 2012, baseball cards. You can see the Zubaz and you can see the yeah. It's a I
Oh
would
man. Okay.
I'm a beauty.
And talking about the Zubaz real quick.
Okay.
NFL. Remember those NFL Pro Line
Yes.
football? Did you do a photo shoot like those guys did in those pants? You had
We
to have
missed
had.
that.
Oh, okay.
That would have been great. Would have been. So,
Oh,
but you know, I think I've been doing this so long. Sometimes I forget like where social media was when I started. So
True.
like 2000, like that would totally work today. Like you could easily do it too. But like to make that happen in 2011, like I don't even think they were allowing videos on Instagram in 2011. Like or was it even around?
I don't
My
even know.
account was created in like 2012. Yeah, so like I feel like those ideas are so great. Like I don't know, we definitely should do throwback nights.
You should
And
do a
I
throwback.
have I still have the Zubaz. If you want, I can go get them right now out of my closet. I don't know if that makes for good content for you guys, but I'll be happy to go grab them for you, like
No.
right now.
ladies and
I
gentlemen,
trust you. I trust you.
You need to you know what? Okay, I haven't showed you what I'm wearing actually. I'm wearing the Zubas. No, no.
no, oh my gosh,
What an epic call that would be. Sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, this is why. I mean, we're 11 minutes into this thing, and I'm like fully entertained. I mean, this is crazy, Jay. Okay, and again, just I mean, my gosh, I just have questions, but this guy, I mean, it was kind of we did, but I'm just saying. This human being right here. Let me just say this, okay? And this is super cool. I love this picture, by the way. This is awesome. Freddie B pulled that up right now. And let me just say, ladies and gentlemen, obviously, if you're watching the show right now, you know exactly who Crazy Jay is and his get up and everything. But I will say, my wife and I, and I wish Freddie was there. Oh, I wish Freddie and his girls were there. I know his wife was even there that night. I wish she was next to us. We took this picture.
I know.
Oh man. But this is one of the coolest. I mean, look at the get up. Look at how he's got the socks. He's got, I mean, again, just like you think like PT Bonham got super cool. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I mean, this is like the coolest thing in the world. He's here, he's leading the charge, and like it's so cool because this brings a different dynamic. And my wife and I were just so happy that night. Again, just to say too, really quick, because I was gonna point this out, and he's probably gonna be like, "Are you seriously gonna bring this up?" I don't care. I want to. I'm just a clumsy dude, and I just put my arm around Crazy Jay, and I knocked my wife's pretzel out of her hand.
Oh, that's right.
And you know what? It's funny because I knocked it out, and she was like, "Oh no, my pretzel!" I was like, "Oh no." We took the picture really quick, and you know what this guy does? He's like, hey, really quick. I remember the name. He says, Lillian, the girl that works there. He said, "Can we get them another pretzel?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "No problem. I got you." I was like, you know what? Like stuff like that just lives forever. And it's just, I don't care if it was a freaking $5 pretzel. Like she went down with a giant smile, went down, grabbed a pretzel. I mean, before we could even like finish taking the pictures, hands her the pretzel. And again, ladies and gentlemen, everybody listening, and I'm just saying, this is the stuff that just lives forever. So I mean,
special pretzel.
It was super. She was all happy. Like it was just cool. I mean, you know what's cool? Because of that too, I just went down concessions and I bought more stuff. I was like, we gotta get more. It's because I was like, these guys are so genuine. We loved it. Crazy Jay, we just want to thank you for that and just say like that was super cool. This picture to us is always gonna be very special. Like I said, I really wish Freddie and his wife and his girls were around for this.
Hey, next time we're up in Rancho, I'm gonna be getting some nachos and I'm gonna accidentally bump into him, spill them all over, and get another set there.
Make sure you eat half of them first.
Yeah, of course,
for sure. But Crazy Jay, man.
So that culture really permeates Rancho. Like everyone there is fully empowered. Like I'm talking about like the ticket takers, the ushers, like even to me, like fully empowered to make a situation right. And so like if that means moving someone from a seat because it wasn't exactly what they were expecting or anticipating, if that means getting them a pretzel, or a kid is crying and they really, whatever the situation is, making it special for them is like what is like expected of the team, of like the staff, and what is like celebrated. And they create an atmosphere to really empower people to do the right thing, which I've always appreciated, because it makes it a lot easier for me. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been in the stands messing around, giving high fives, leading chants, cheers, whatever, and I knock over someone's beer or popcorn or
Mm.
whatever. And so it's just like right away, just take care of it. So you're right. I'm glad it definitely resonated with you, but I didn't even literally think about it, because it's just a natural like reaction to everybody.
What a
It's cool.
guy. What a
Y-
guy.
You know what, Larry? I mean, we could speak on that and in our experience up at Rancho, and with Mishi and everybody up in the press box area, scorekeepers, Ryan Zimmerman, just everybody. It was, I think, as a collective, the best experience of employees and staff that we have witnessed at any of the stadiums. I'm not going to
Wow.
bag on any of the stadiums or anything like that, but no,
Sure.
wholeheartedly, I felt, and I said that even when we were there, Larry, like I felt at home in the stadium. It was just the whole vibe, everything just felt so comfortable there, and I think it was all the surrounding and supporting cast of all the employees there as well. It's just it was a great experience, and I mean, if you have a chance to get out to a Rancho Cucamonga game, dude, you got to go out there.
Please.
Yeah.
Please.
It is. I agree completely. Like, the layout of the stadium too is more intimate. And it allows for the entertainment to kind of permeate through the place. So the way, you come upstairs to
Mhm.
get to the like the concourse level of the stadium, and then you can go down toward the field or up. And so, like, when you go to Elsinore, if I remember right, like, you kind of walk in at ground level, and and then, even in Ontario, it's kind of sectioned off and broken up a lot, and so you don't have that feeling of like everyone's eye and attention is drawn to this kind of middle concourse space. And so, like, and that's where I feel like the magic happens, and you start to feel that like family atmosphere, because you can turn at any point in that stadium and see relatively easy what's happening, like within the stadium confines, of the fans themselves. And so I think we have that benefit to entertain people in that space, whereas like it's a little trickier in other spaces, like, for example, like Ontario. When I've been there, it's like it's hard to like feel like you can entertain everyone all at once, because some of your views are more difficult to capture.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
And Freddie B, I'm not gonna not make friends here. My wife and I always had fun after every stadium, because she's only been to Storm. We've only been to Storm. We were dire. We have our custom made Storm jerseys, Crazy J. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah.
live right here. I grew up in Paris.
Perfect.
The customer
I
was
love
right
it.
there. Yeah, I mean, and I never got out to go see the Quakes that much when we guys were the Dodgers. I went to San Manuel to see the Sixers like twice, just randomly, obviously. And that was it. Ontario, of course, is brand new. So I would always tell my wife, like, she was like, I'm excited to go see the other ones. And so every time we would leave, I would always tell her, like, a new stadium. Like, so what did you rank it? What did you rank? I said, I can't wait till we go to all four so you can rank them. Again, it's not like we're not trying to make friends. We loved all of you. You guys are, now we've been to all four. All of you are incredible in your own ways. We love you to death. But Crazy J, and I waited for this. I waited for this to have you on. My wife chose first, but I agreed wholeheartedly right after. Kind of crazy. She did it first, but we both wholeheartedly selected the Ranch Cucamonga Quakes as like the favorite overall, just because. I mean, again, just the experience overall, the entertainment vibe was absolutely incredible. The vibe, she loves the tunnel setting. She loves how
Yeah.
it's so easy. She says, because we would always say it's not a bad seat in the house and everything like that. But she's like, and it's not that we love Ontario, but she was like, it's so professional. She's like, I love it because it's really cool. It's like a Dodger game. But at the same exact time, it's like it takes away the intimacy of
Yeah.
like, because it's so big and it's just like and it's true. Sixers, super cool, very similar to Rancho, cool. But even with the Storm, we love the Storm. But you know what you can't get at the Storm? Food. For some reason, everyone and their
Oh,
mother,
God.
it's
Yeah.
packed getting food. Rancho, we
Really?
can go at any given time. It's just the lines are so long because only a couple concessions and everything.
Mm.
Rancho was like the perfect blend. And again, we're not trying to not make friends. We love all of you who are watching and listening. But honestly, man, crazy. I always want to say that, man. I mean, so overall, stadium wise, my wife and I definitely rank it number one with all the, but the entertainment wise, and again, that's what I want to go into. And Freddie B, I'm sorry, I'm just like taking over here. I'm sorry,
let's
buddy.
talk entertainment.
I said that the night that we were there. I'm like, I feel at home at this stadium. It was something about it. It was picturesque. You got the mountains in the background and the trees and left field and everything like that. And it just felt like a homey kind of atmosphere, and it was just the vibe of everybody there. I definitely agree with you on that. And then, not to knock on the guys down in Ontario, fantastic stadium. We were just down there the other day. Don't want to talk too much about that, but it was like going to Dodger Stadium or a professional ballpark.
Yeah.
What you guys can do, and I mean, you're affiliate of the Angels. They're the Dodgers. They don't have that fan interaction in game, like you said. They're the only team that we haven't seen, an MC on field that gets the crowd engaged and participating in on-field activities. I didn't really see a whole lot of that. It was like real like Los Angeles Dodgers by the book kind of a stuff, and that's what you guys can really separate. And you guys are so close distance wise where you can capture and get those fans that want to have a great night at the ballpark. Tickets are a fraction of the cost of what they are down the street, and you get a whole night of entertainment for the entire family. I think, if you had asked me just a casual fan, I would take the experience at the what do they call it now? Well, it used to be the Epicenter. Now it's Morongo Field.
The city of Rancho still calls it the Epicenter, so I think they say the Epicenter at Morongo Field, something like that.
I think I went to the first Quakes game there.
Oh, that's
when they opened. They were the Padres.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I called it Lone Mart for like the first month we were on air, and I'm like, oh crap, Freddie, it's not called Lone Mart. Whoops. Whoops. But I will say that really quick too. I mean, super cool. So I mean, I guess we'll start rolling with the other questions, but really quick, this is more of a conversation, and I love it. So when we first started going to Storm games, okay, because before they didn't really have anybody, but my wife and I started really going, and what's crazy? The first person, I didn't even know about MCs or any of that. And this is why I loved your character so much. A guy by the name of Kaz Egan. Okay.
Love Kaz. Kaz is my boy. Well, I was texting him today. I was telling him I was getting on this interview with you guys. I'm like, dude, Kaz, what do I do? What do I say with these guys? Sorry, go ahead.
He's crack me up, man. Stop it. Kaz is just a wonderful human being. He's there, and we miss him terribly at Storm Stadium. But my wife and I saw Kaz like all the time. He did not. I mean, he went out of the way. He entertained. But anyway, before we even got to know him, he was like the dude. He's just everywhere, entertaining, here, there, poof, like a genie, just here everywhere. It's like the game revolved around him. And what's crazy? Obviously, we never went anywhere else, so I didn't even know. I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. I didn't even know what an MC was. This is super cool. So I thought, how cool would it be to see everybody else's MCs and everything? We went to a Rancho. I was like, oh my gosh, like this is Kaz vibes. Like I love because like seriously, Crazy Jay, I'm just being real, man. Your entertainment, your interaction, like it's second to none. And I just want to put that out there and say that. And
I appreciate
I guess, like,
it, dude. That's awesome. Thank you.
Of course, like you are so entertaining. You're so much fun. And Freddie, I don't know if you want to jump in and put anything else up, but you are very so personalized and people, you can tell people go there to be a part of the game, but they also go to see you, and I could say that.
My wife was like, "This is pure comedy. Is this guy performing at the Improv or something like that? This guy is awesome. Who's doing the hosting here? Because just the way your involvement in, I mean, you can see right here, the smile on your face says it all, and you love what you're doing, and that's what it's all about."
That's great. That's awesome. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Honestly, I've never, I don't know. I've struggled because, like most people, like, I wasn't around a lot of like encouraging words as a kid. I was in '90s, '80s. I was born in the early '80s, '90s kid. It was just like, hey, like just do your thing, whatever. So I think when people give me compliments, I have a hard time knowing what to do with those. I don't know. I got like like don't psychoanalyze me. But I do have a hard time like receiving compliments, and I do think it's kind of generational because like I know a lot of people my age who are like, oh no, never, never.
Yep, I agree.
You feel that?
No,
So,
totally.
but so for I do get that from people, and I always poo-poo it. But at some point, I like in the last few years, I've started to like accept it and embrace it and be like, thank you. And I don't know. I'm just doing what I think is natural and doing what I think I was made to do in that element. And I'm just blessed that the people in at Quakes continue to give me an opportunity to do it. And so I do. There are nights where I feel like I'm getting older, and I'm like I can't hide behind. And spoiler alert, like I don't know the age of the listeners here, but like the people who are the mascots, like right, like if you get my drift, like they're behind a mask. And so for me, like it's my face, right? Like yeah, I'm wearing a costume, but at some point people are like, hang on a second, why is this 40-year-old dude out here acting goofy, like so I do have moments where I'm like, am I getting too old for this? Like, am I whatever? But
No.
I do enjoy it, and I do feel like it brings a unique, like a unique energy and a unique experience for people. So I appreciate you guys saying that. I really do because it does mean a lot, and I have been able to start to like receive those type of things. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
that's so awesome, man. But yeah, I'm sorry. I know we're just like going so far, but again, this turned into a
Okay.
conversation. Is really what it
Yeah,
did.
it's
Like,
good.
I love that.
I,
So yeah. I mean, I guess we'll just. I mean, you already kind of just answered, like how you kind of got this. I mean, is there anything you want to add on?
well,
It's like how you got
I,
your
I do.
start.
I want to add on. So, like, all right, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about me.
Yes, please.
So I grew up in Baltimore. I'm a Baltimore, Maryland kid. I was born in like literally in Baltimore City, and I was and I still follow the Orioles. Yeah, but I grew up in Baltimore around the time where Cal Ripken Jr. was on his record, and so um, my dad actually went to the game before he broke the record, so like 2130. And
Hmm.
so I have this like really strong Maryland, Baltimore history. And so I've always been a huge Orioles fan. And so I would go to Camden Yards almost like every Friday night. Um, it was about 16 minutes from my house. We would take the light rail and go to the games like all the time. These were like in the Brady Anderson years, Rafael
Oh God,
Palmeiro. Like
Palmero.
we're
Yeah,
we're going
Alomar.
back.
Gee.
Yeah, Alomar, yeah. So like we're going back. And so Cal Ripken Jr. though is like every kid's like favorite player. And so there was so much hype and so much going on in the baseball world around the time he was breaking the record. And I felt like I was at ground zero of it. And I played baseball and I was okay, but I never played beyond little league, and I always wanted to be a part of baseball in a fun and unique way. If I couldn't play, right, and so I'd always like listen closely to the PA announcers at Orioles, and like they would say these little things, and I'd pick up on them. I'm like, oh, that's funny. And I never experienced a minor league baseball game. Didn't experience one probably till I was in high school. So I didn't really know what that was all about. All I knew was Orioles. Um, and so there was a guy named Wild Bill Haggy. And you can look him up. He's in the Orioles Hall of Fame. And so when I auditioned to be Crazy J, I had shared a story with the GM and some of the people I interviewed with about this guy Wild Bill. And what he did was he was like an unofficial mascot for the Orioles, and he led what was called the Roar from 34. And so that was the section that he was in. He was actually a taxi driver in Baltimore, Maryland, and he became this fixture within the Orioles like enterprise. And he would lead these chants and these cheers from his section, and he would do arm motions for each letter of Orioles. Orioles, Orioles, and they still do that chant and cheer to this day. And so I took a page out of like the Wild Bill book, to be like, this Crazy J character and try to bring it to life in a more formal way, because this guy Wild Bill, he was never paid by the team or anything like that, but he was a fixture of Baltimore folklore for the Orioles, and he was legendary. He wore this giant, like, he wore a
Yeah.
cowboy hat, and if you pull him up, you probably
I'm
see,
looking
like,
at it right now, man. It looks
yeah,
like an old like country guy, like a Travis
yeah.
Tritt mixed with like Hank Williams Jr.
For sure. Yeah. No, yeah, that's exactly how I looked. And he was a taxi driver, and he was from
Oh.
Arbutus, which is like, the city over from where I lived. And so I just like, there's Wild Bill. So he led the cheer, and they would play Thank God I'm a Country Boy, which they still do that to this day. They still do his cheer with the Orioles. The Oriole bird does it on top of the dugout. And the Orioles announcers, whenever a fan would catch a foul ball, the announcer would say, "Give that fan a contract." And so I was just fascinated by all these little elements of baseball that had nothing to do with what was happening on the field. And so I think as I was introduced to minor league baseball, I got really interested in what that could look like translation wise. And so in 2009, I got invited by Tremor to be like a fan in the stands who would take a pie to the face, or something crazy would happen. And so he would pick me out of the crowd, right? I was supposed to be like the random fan. And so in 2009, I was invited out by Tremor to do this, some of these like skits. And so I remember we did a skit on like taking a pie to the face, and then there was another skit where we dressed up as the Village People and did like the YMCA dance, and there was some other, odds and ends stuff that they would have me do. And at the end of that season, the person who was their MC had quit, and so I found out that he had resigned, and I just cold emailed Quakes and said, "Hey, don't know if you're looking for somebody, but I'd love to be considered." And I auditioned. Just they showed up at the stadium like on a random like Wednesday afternoon. They gave me the microphone, and they said, "All right, this is the sponsor's name. This is the game. Say the sponsor's name 3 times in the game with this tagline. This is your contestant 1. This is your contestant 2, and run it." And so I did, and I showed up the first day for the first game, and they handed me a jersey that said Crazy J on the back, and I was like, well, I guess they took what I told them about Wild Bill, and they saw my character and said I'm going to be Crazy J. So that was how it all kind of came to pass, in kind of my history in baseball, and my fandom toward what was happening. Now, if you really want to tie like crazy, like, I don't know how like spiritual you guys are, or religious you guys are, or whatever, but like feeling um like a God story, like a God wink, they call it. Um, if you know, do you guys know the day Cal Ripken Jr. broke
Yep, they were playing
the
the
record?
Angels.
September. Yes, they were. September
playing the
6th.
I was watching it. Yep.
Yep. I remember sitting in front of my console TV watching it in my family room in Baltimore. And fast forward to September 6th, 2014, my son Brooks was born.
Brooks Robin.
And so I named my son Brooks as a Baltimore legend. Brooks Robinson, the best third baseman that ever lived, in my opinion. He was born on the same day that Cal Ripken Jr. broke the record, just 2014.
That
so
is
I feel
so
like
awesome.
I got a wink from God on that one, which is pretty cool.
Amen. That is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know how you,
right?
I don't know. I kind of took a long way getting there, but I want to, tell you guys my Orioles Baltimore story, backstory, and got to Quakes. Yeah. So there you go. Baseball will be a part of me forever.
Absolutely, man. That is so cool.
I'm really silenced on the mic. That's holy crap. Wow.
It's a cool moment. Yeah.
No way. Yeah. I remember that night too. Oh my gosh, wow. And by the way, I did pull up Wild Bill, and yeah, I totally agree. I can see Hank Williams Jr.'s in there for sure. I can see family tradition happening as I see him. Like Oh, that's crazy. Wow. What a start and what a moment and what a story. Crap.
Yeah.
What's your favorite promo to do? Do you have a favorite skit or promo to do when you're entertaining at the
Yeah.
games?
I think, for us, it's gotten harder and harder to do skits with the time clock.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and also like the just speed of game and speed of play is so important. And so, um, some of the skits that we would do historically that would just like bring the house down have gotten harder to do. So I would say like historically, um, my favorite skit that we would do was the dating game. So we'd bring three women or four women down onto the field, and then we would blindfold Trimmer and bring him out, and he would be like the most eligible bachelor. And so we would have like each of the bachelorettes say hi to Trimmer. And so, hi, Trimmer. He's very cute. Hi, Trimmer. He can't see, right? So, like, he's supposedly not be able to see, right? And so then the last bachelorette is the umpire, and he doesn't say anything,
Oh,
right? So I go over to the umpire, put the microphone in his face, and I always, oh, the silent type. All right, fans, help Trimmer decide who he's gonna have a date with, right? Bachelor number 1, 2, 3, 4, or bachelorette number 5, and they go crazy. And so Trimmer goes over, plants a big kiss on the umpire, takes the mask off, and is like, "Oh my gosh!" And then he turns and sees me with all these beautiful, fans, and I'm like, "No, Trimmer, you picture your date, right?" So that was just one of my favorites, but
that's so good.
that one's gotten harder to do just with the timing. So
Yeah.
we kind of had to make some tweaks to it. The other one that I think kind of speaks to the intimacy of the stadium is we do a magic microphone. So Tremor will go around and he will place. He has like a long pipe with like a microphone on the end of it, and he'll hold that over top of people's heads, and then I will just improvise whatever comes to mind. Of each fan, and then our camera person will zoom in on the people, right, or the person that we're doing. So that one always brings the house down. So like, we'll go over like, you know a bald police officer, or we'll go over like a couple who's having a date or something, or we'll go over like to like a kid who's just like chowing down like food or whatever. And then we always make our way down to the field, and we'll put the microphone over top of the catcher while he's taking like warm up pitches. And we're like, oh, I shouldn't have had that burrito before the game. And then of course, take the microphone to the backside, and then just let out a fart. And
Oh
then
my God.
so that always
Oh.
goes crazy, right? Like the people love it. But we do that one while the Quakes are warming up. And so the batter for the other team is in the box, warming up. And so at the very end, we just hold that microphone over top of the opposing team's batter, and we hit them with, "I wish I played for the Quakes," and then the crowd loses it. So I mean, I would say like that. Those two skits are my
Those are
favorite.
amazing.
Yeah, and they always do well. They always bring the house down. But again, like we've had to get more strategic with timing and all of that. But I think that kind of brings up a really cool story, if we have time, about like relationships with umpires. It brings up a cool story about like relationships with umpires, like we as the mascots and like, entertainment have to have in order to be successful with some of this stuff, because we might have to go a little long, right? And we don't want them ringing up our batter or our pitcher with a strike or a ball or whatever. So we got to kind of be careful. But I can share that story if you guys are interested. Time is of the essence. I know we're going long.
Share it.
I'm all for it. I love it. I'm
Okay, yeah.
enjoying this.
So when I first started, me and Trimmer and Aftershock, we shared a locker room, the back half of a locker room with the umpires. So the umpires had the front half of our locker room, but we had to walk through our locker room. I'm sorry, through the umpire's locker room to get to our locker room, right? And so we had this amazing relationship with like all the umps for years, because like They were in from whatever, town that they were from. They didn't know anybody. They didn't know the area. And so we would just get to know them, help them with whatever they needed help with, give them recommendations for restaurants, food, whatever. Um, and so we would kind of get a little bit of special privilege and treatment, and we would always get pictures with them and post them up in the locker room over the years. So they would come in and be like, "Oh my gosh, whoever, yeah, this guy's now my supervisor. You guys you've known him, yeah." And so like I learned from Tremor, who's been Tremor for like almost 30 years now, that those relationships were super important, especially for the entertainment factor. And so I just kind of embraced what he had already started with the locker room, like getting to know the guys, and getting to know where they were from, talking to them before the game, after the game. And so as things have changed and evolved with baseball, and as the time clocks have changed and evolved, we still, I feel like, get a little bit of preferential treatment because of our long-standing relationships with the umpires. And they change, they're getting pulled up to double A, triple A, whatever, trying to make a name for themselves as well.
Yeah.
So it's cool for us to be able to, Starkovich, he was one of the umps in like 2012, 2013. He's one of the supervisors now. I went up to the booth and I heard he was up there. I'm like, oh my gosh, what the heck? Like so like that world is really tight and connected. So the better relationships you have with the umpires, the easier it is to entertain people, especially if you're going to leverage the umpires. I have one story. I got to be quick on it. You talked about like the skits. So like the best skit we used to do, like better than the two I told you, we did like a monkey see, monkey do skit. I will never forget. It was 3rd of July. It was a full sold out house. We're doing our monkey see, monkey do skit. So I was tasked with finding a girl that would just do whatever Trimmer did. And we had talked to the umpire who was working the dish that night and said, "Hey, we're going to do this monkey see, monkey do skit." It was like, it's July 3rd. So we're like halfway through the season. He's already come and gone a few times to see us. And I'm like, "Hey, like, we're going to get this girl and she's going to be part of the night. And at the end of this thing, she's going to, it's going to be you and her." And he's like, I'm down. I don't care. I'll do it. I was like, okay. So my job was find a girl who would do anything on the field mirroring Tremor. I said, all right. So I go out and find a lady who's, willing to do this before the game. We get to the skit. It's like, everyone's finally found their seat. It's perfect timing. 3rd of July, the vibes are so high. Everyone's excited. Trimmer goes out there and he does this little dance on the first base line, right? In between home and first, he's dancing. And this girl, here she comes walking out of the dugout. And all the players are looking at her. They're like, "Oh, wow, she's attractive." And everyone's like, "Oh my gosh." And so she one-ups Trimmer and does like a better dance than Trimmer. And Trimmer's like, okay, I like it. Trimmer goes over to the first baseman and grabs his butt. I mean, we're talking like this would never happen today. But like this is like, early minor leagues. She goes over, 2 hands, grabs his butt. We're like, what is going on? Like, this is nuts. Trimmer walks over to the ump working the dish, takes his mask off of him. Trimmer takes his hat off, plants a big kiss on him. This girl goes over there. She's a clear 6 inches taller than the ump. Does the lean down and just plants one on him. Both dugouts are like, what is going on? How is this like? And then like this guy's like, now he's a legend, right? Like the batter's coming up to the box, like, "Do you know that girl? Is that like your girlfriend?" And he's like, "No, Crazy J just found her, and she just said she'd come out and do this." Like that happened.
Totally off script, but
amazing.
That's like WWF Attitude Era type stuff that you can get away with back then.
So we still do that skit, but now
tone it down a little bit.
Well, usually we do it with the umpire's girlfriend.
Okay.
So if she's in town, it works out great. and we'll find we'll usually like just fake the smack to the first baseman, or we'll put somebody dressed up as a groundskeeper out there to take the smack on the rear end. So anyway, it's happened.
That is so good.
All right, sorry.
No, that was great.
No, I love
Again,
it.
look, honestly, Crazy Jay, this is better than any questions we could ever ask. I mean, this is the stuff it's made of. This is awesome, cool stories. I mean, I guess this one's probably really, really, really quick, but I mean, obviously, you've seen a lot over these 16 years you've done this. What's like a player or a few players where you were like, that dude right there, and now you look and you're like, yep, they're playing for who? I mean, they're major league. Who's somebody that really stands out to you that in your memory?
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not just saying this because we went back to being an Angels affiliate, but like without a doubt, like a man among men was Mike Trout. So like Mike Trout was there in 2010. I had gotten I had heard rumor and gossip of like, hey, like we got this amazing stud, whatever. He's going to be with us, toward the end of the season. And he just graduated from high school. I'm like, dude, okay, like that's cool. Like this guy's like a couple years younger than me. All right, whatever. And I'm like in my early 20s at that point. So like I'm like, okay, we'll see what this guy's got. And he was an incredible athlete out of high school. So you can kind of see some guys who are like maybe they're they got a few more years where they're going to continue to grow and get bigger and stronger and faster. He was a phenom. I mean, like to the perfect definition of phenom, that was Mike Trout. And so I remember watching him his first at bat, running from home to first and beating the throw. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this big dude is like incredibly fast. Like it was amazing. And I think, the most like bittersweet situation with him is I recall that season we won the South Division for the Cal League, and we were in the championship game. And in those days, I want to say we were doing 5-game series for the championship, or maybe even been 7. This was in like 2010. And we end up stranding Mike Trout on third to lose that game and lose the championship. Yeah. So that was I think that was in 2010. Yeah. So, but I just remember standing on the dugout and like leading the cheers, and all of the fans that were there had moved over to the home dugout. And, we had Mike on third. I want to say there was somebody who had gotten like walked and was on first, and we had 2 outs on the board, and this guy got up there, and I don't remember if he struck out or if it was a fly out or what, but just kind of bittersweet. And that was it. That was the last I saw of Mike Trout in Rancho. But he was a amazing phenom. Obviously saw so many greats come through, like Corey Seager, Jock Peterson. Yasiel Puig was another one, dude. That guy, he was wild though. He almost ran me over one time, like physically, like in his car, like literally, because I used to jog like around the parking lot, and then like before the games, and I remember him like pulling out of the parking lot, jumping the curb. Like I think he was going to like a convenience store or something to get like a Gatorade or a Monster. I don't know, but like I was running on the grass, and he almost ran me over. And so then like later in my like life, I'm like, oh yeah, like Yasiel Puig, and then you hear these stories of how like he was just crazy. All fit. It all fit. I remember standing in the dugout, in the home dugout, watching him shake off the manager of the team at third. Like the manager was like telling him to like slide, and he's standing at second, or not slide, but like steal or whatever. And he's standing there like hand on the hip, and he's looking at the manager. He's like, no. I'm like, dude, this guy's he's an animal. Like, okay. So
That's
yeah,
so
but
crazy.
it's for sure Trout.
That's so cool.
That's what makes the California League so special too, because this is the ground floor for these guys.
Yeah.
Small percentage of them, even get to that point where they can, become a major leaguer. And when you do see somebody out there that, possesses those talents, you can tell right away Like, hey,
Yeah.
this guy's going to be going somewhere. And then you build a relationship with them, working with them, and that's pretty cool that you can look back and say, yeah, I remember, when so and so was just playing here, single A
Yeah.
ball, 18, 20 years old, and now look at where they become.
Mhm.
Anybody on the current roster? I know the roster's depleted right now after all the last set of call-ups. Anybody on this year's team who you think is going to be maybe that guy that could be the next one to, eventually play for the Angels?
I really liked Rylan Zemurowski. Just the build, he looked like a big leaguer already.
Yeah.
And undrafted, family was super cool. Got to spend some time with like his folks and his brother. Got to chat with him a little bit after one of the games, like momentarily. Really, really nice guy, but just like seemed like the type who had the build and also had this like almost like a chip on his shoulder when he was out on the field, which gave him, I feel like, even more of an edge. And that guy, dude, he is just hammering the ball. And I believe he got called up. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
mean, I
did.
think he's well on his way. So yeah, he's definitely one that kind of stands out to me this season. Because I like the height, I like the build.
Yeah,
And he
it's like
seems
a
like he has a
gentle
chip. He
giant.
wasn't, yeah, like, and he was drafted like he was like undrafted. So I feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder. And dude, he did just hammer the ball. So yeah, I think he's gonna be exciting to watch for sure.
Absolutely.
Dude, oh my gosh. I'm telling you, I'm loving the conversation. This has been so great. I mean, hearing talk about Trout right now, too. I mean, I remember that team he went to with Trumbo, Asteris, Kendrick was on that team. I mean, remember that crazy Peter Borges? I mean, remember that Angels team he
Oh
went
yeah.
to the very next year? And I
Mhm.
think my gosh, if I'm not mistaken, they lost. It would have been Dodgers Angels World Series, but ended up being Phillies in New York, right? Because they both lost in the ALCS, ALD. Anyway, but yeah, like it's pretty crazy to think, like, oh my gosh, you had to see that talent. That was anyway, cool stuff,
Yeah.
and just wow,
I
how
dude, I
cool.
remember, so Mike Trout actually, here's a Mike Trout story for you. So he was 18. His mom and I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm speaking out of school here, but or if he cares, but whatever. Like, my understanding was like he didn't have a car, so like his mom and dad didn't want him to have a car at 18 years old on the other side of America. Because I think he was from like New Jersey or
New
something.
Jersey. Yep.
Jersey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So he's living in Rancho. He's living with another player. I can't remember who, but they're both sharing a room with one of our ushers, this guy Dave, who is like a senior citizen, like amazing guy, lives in Altaloma. Uh, and because Mike didn't have a car and Dave was like retired and just like super generous, he would literally drive him to the stadium before the games and drop him off, be like, bye, Mike. Like
Oh,
So cool.
literally.
crazy.
And like a year later, he's a phenom, like in the bigs, but like not 9 months before, Usher Dave is dropping him off on Rochester, to for game day. Like that's crazy, right? I mean, like
That-
that's what it was. This was before they put him in apartments and they were like really taking care of their minor leaguers. I mean, he was living with this guy Dave. We just started, and like Dave just kept in touch with him. Like Dave would come up to me. He's like, "Hey, Crazy Jay, look, Mike texted me," and like it was about whatever game. Like I'm like, dude, this is wild. I started calling him Dave Trout. I'm like, dude, Dave Trout, what's up?
the honorary grandpa.
Yeah,
Let's go, Dave. I'm sorry. That was
dude.
so cool. Oh my gosh. I love it. But oh my gosh. We're coming up on an hour. This has been like one of the coolest interviews ever had. Freddie B, I mean, if you got anything else, man, because this has been super.
I mean, we can keep going, but I don't want to keep
I
Crazy
know. I don't want
Jay
to keep it.
any longer than but yeah, I mean, is there? I know we already talked about like the players and stuff like that. Has this opportunity that you've had with the Quakes led to anything else for you professionally, entertainment wise?
Yeah, for sure. So when I first started out doing, like, I got this. So when I first started out doing Crazy J, I was kind of like, that was my like dipping my toe into like entertainment world. I was like, all right, so like let me just dip my toe into this world. And I got the bug, right? I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is amazing. Well, I didn't have any kids at the time. I was already married. My wife was teaching, and I had a normal like 9 to 5 job, and this was just something to do to like have some extra money and to kind of just hang out. And so like not just be hanging out, like actually like go and do something. And I loved Rancho, I love Quakes, and it started tapping a creative itch in me that I didn't know I had. And so after I got that bug though, after the first season, I'm like, oh man, like I think if I could make a career out of this would be way better than my 9 to 5. And so I started exploring what that would look like. And it was getting like in being in LA, like in the LA area, you're like, okay, well, you can like, go out to auditions or whatever. But there really wasn't a lot of opportunity for like a character like mine unless you were like an actual like comedian, right? And you were gonna like warm up a crowd for like an audience or something. And I'm not good at writing jokes. I'm probably better like improvising. And so I started looking on like other sports teams, like what do they have for MCs and announcers and stuff. And I got an opportunity in 20, I want to say it was a 2012, to go on tour as a host with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Oh,
So yeah, so super cool. I got to fly out to New York City, and I did a training camp with them for 2 weeks and got to like spend time with like legends, like guys I would watch on like ESPN and stuff. And so like Sweet Lou Dunbar and Curly and like all these like amazing guys. And so I learned how to be a host for the Globetrotters, and then I went on a tour with them for a few weeks. And then it was like, okay, I'd run out of PTO, I'd run out all my time off. Like I kind of was at a crossroads, like, all right, am I going to do this life, or am I going to kind of stay with Quakes and do my normal 9 to 5? And talking to my wife, it just made sense stability wise to kind of stick with my normal 9 to 5 and just enjoy the local stuff. And it was pretty harsh being on the road so much. Like it was a lot. Like you were literally traveling like town to town with the Globetrotters, and it was the coolest experience because you had to wear all the gear. Like you get fined if you weren't wearing like the sponsored stuff, and you just roll up in a bus that said Harlem Globetrotters on the side of it to like whatever hotel in whatever city, and people are just like meeting you in the parking lot, like high fiving. Like it was like the Savannah Bananas now, like everyone loves the Savannah Bananas. But like it was like that back then, so I was up and down the East Coast, touring in different towns and cities and big cities. It was a rad experience. So yeah, I've gotten to do that. I've gotten to do some local stuff with the city of Ranch Cucamonga, like fireworks shows and parades and stuff like that. I actually am really hoping that I can lend my talent to the LA Olympics. So I'm working hard to try to connect with some people where I can, be an MC or a host or announce or whatever for the LA Olympics. That's kind of my next goal
That's
coming up.
yeah, that is awesome. If there's anything we can do to help promote you as well, Crazy J,
Yeah,
we will
appreciate that.
definitely be on top of that.
All right. Yeah. If you put the word out, man, Crazy J's looking for some LA Olympics.
That's
Heck
right.
I'll even do what's I don't know, some like horseshoe throwing or something. I love
Hey,
horseshoes or
I'm
badminton,
Crazy Jay.
something.
Again, we are at an hour. You, sir, have not only like you have given us so much time, and we just appreciate you so much for this.
Let's do part 2. Come on, let's do it.
I'm all for it. I'm down for that. Number one, and number two thing, everybody out there, if you're if you're anywhere in the Inland Empire, anywhere in the greater LA region, go check out a Ranch Cucamonga Quakes game. These guys are amazing. The great team, amazing facility, and this guy right here, Tremor, all of it. It is a show among shows. This guy is great. They do such a great job, and I just want to again thank you so much for being on the show tonight, Freddie B. Anything else you want to throw out there?
No, this is incredible. I mean, I love listening to these stories on how everybody's gotten to the point where they're at in their careers, and every story is different. But there's one thing that everybody has, and that's entertaining crowds and bringing community together. And that's what this is all about. And that's what Larry and I are trying to do here at Dirt and Diamonds is bring a show together for baseball fans and just fans in general out there that it's just not all, X's and O's. There's so much more that goes into it. And we're so fortunate to live where we are, where we have these awesome entertainment venues, where you can go out and take the whole family. I've got 4 daughters, and it doesn't stop me from taking them to baseball games. I don't have sons or anything like that, but they enjoy it just as much as anybody else. So boy, girl, it doesn't matter. Go out and see these games. Support these local teams. They're in your community right down the street, whether you know it or not. And you're watching the players of the future. And I love it, Crazy J. I hope we can get out there maybe again before the end of the season.
Let's do it.
Get Larry and I out there. We'll do a skit or something with you, and we'll try to make something happen. But thank you so much, man. It's just an honor to have you. You're one of the oldest, tenured, I think, entertainers in this arena, especially in the California League, and your stories are incredible. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you guys so much for this opportunity. You're doing great stuff. I'm so excited to just play a small part in the story that you guys are writing with this with this channel and this podcast. And being able to share these stories is an honor. So I appreciate you caring and listening. And we got to do one. We got to get you guys back. I think you do one of these shows live at Quakes.
That's what our goal is, to do a live broadcast
live show.
Yeah.
All right. I know a few people. I'll take off the top hat. I'll put on the cans. We'll do it together.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks
so much. We'll see you
Appreciate
soon.
it, bro. God bless.
God bless.
Thank you. Bye.
Talk about an awesome interview, Larry.
Wow, what a guy.
Look at this guy.
What a guy. Oh my gosh. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that's why. That you want to talk about certified minor league moment? That right.
This is an entire episode right here by itself. I think we should publish this one separately.
I think so too. I know we started out as it was supposed to be a segment, but I completely agree with that. I think this should just be its own standalone thing. And we should just exit out. I mean, well, maybe I can just edit it to throw on the tracks, but
yeah. Awesome, man.
That was super cool. But again, everybody, that was Crazy J. Freddie B, man, just a wonderful, wonderful evening here, and we'll find a way to put this one together as its own thing, and we'll get together for Monday and everything. But again, ladies and gentlemen, Freddie B, Larry B here on Dirt and Diamonds, bringing you all the realest, including people like Crazy J and the amazing people that are involved with the California League. Shout out to Mishi too; she's over there too. So shout out to Mishi.
Yes.
But that will do it for tonight. We will see you guys on Monday. Be ready for plenty more as week 19 is underway right now. It concludes, and we'll get into week 20 coming on up. This is the Dirt and Diamonds right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll see you on the next one, y'all. Peace.